Update po muna tayo mga kaumbo kung babalikan po ninyo nitong weekend ay nagkaroon po ng matagumpay na splashdown itong Artemis 2 at ligtas na nakabalik dito sa daigdig ang apat na astronaut. In fact, ang Bombo Radio Philippines ay nagsagawa po ng hanggang 3 oras po na special coverage during that time. Makakausap po natin ang isa po sa mga engineer ng National Aeronautics and Space Administration sa ilalim po ng Goddard Space Flight Center, isa pong Filipino-American engineer, si Engineer Char Argustos Estraniero Domingo, mga kabombo. Originally, pinanganak po sa Cordilleras pero ilang taon na rin po, ilang dekada na rin po nagtatrabaho sa ilalim po ng National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Siya rin po ay nagsisilbi bilang Lead Network Engineer at Data Communications Engineer ng naturang Space Administration. Magandang araw po at welcome sa Bombo Radio Philippines, Engineer si Bombo Genesis at Bombo Ever po ito. Thank you so much for joining us sa Bombo Radio Philippines sa Bombo Network News. Tayo po live na napapanood at napapakinggan sa 32 stations ng Bombo Radio Philippines. Engineer.
Maraming salamat po sa paanyaya po ninyo sa akin. At before we start, I would just like to say that my opinion is not necessarily the opinion of NASA as a whole. Although I am an employee of NASA, I will speak to you as an observer, okay?
Okay, thank you. Maraming salamat again for joining us sa Bombo Radio Philippines, Engineer. Unang-una ho siguro, ano ho ang nagsilbing role o papel ho ng inyong center, ang Goddard Space Flight Center, doon ho sa naging matagumpay na mission na isinagawa ho ng Artemis 2, Engineer?
Probably I can speak Taglish, right? Pwede? Yeah. So to have a better understanding, NASA has many centers, right? Here in the US. So KSC is one, which is the Kennedy Space Center. JSC, which is the Johnson Space Center, is one of them also. So Goddard Space Flight Center is one of the many other centers of NASA here in the US, and that it is here in Maryland. Goddard also has many locations. So Wallops is one of them. That's where I am officially pumapasok. Doon ako pumapasok sa Wallops Flight Facility of NASA. So so Wallops, gusto ko lang maintindihan ng mga tao na how Wallops does its programs, right? So Wallops flight facility is called a range. Why they called it range? Because we conduct rocket launches here, aeronautical research and testing. So it provides end-to-end services sa mga missions namin, including tracking, telemetry, and safety for government and commercial space missions. So in regards sa question mo, so Artemis 1 and Artemis 2 actually, Goddard as a whole is very important strategic location, right? So it supported this mission from our Bermuda tracking station. So, and right here at Wallops, we work together to track our astronauts on their way to orbit the moon, right? So the team collected telemetry data from the SLS rocket core stage before and after it separates from the Orion capsule. So it's really very important to receive all those telemetry data, and we are doing that one with our a tracking station in Bermuda that is connected to the Wallops network. So, and I am I'm one of the architect of that communication between the Bermuda tracking station and a Wallops flight facility here. So, and that's how Wallops or Goddard is involved with the Artemis 1 and Artemis 2.
Okay. May kaunting technical question lamang ho ako, Engineer. Kasi during the mission, nagkaroon po ng mga 40-minute na communications blackout habang itong Artemis 2 ay papadaan doon ho sa likurang bahagi po ng buwan? Ano pong nasa isip po ng center during that time, engineer?
Yes. So uh, that's a good question, actually. And I know probably a lot of people, maraming tao, probably, especially those that are not involved, right? And they know about communication. Communication talagang very important sa ganitong mission, right? But during the lunar blackout, actually the lunar blackout was planned. Actually, um, roughly, as you said, roughly about 40 to 41 minutes interruption. So what happened is that um, yung yung Orion, it's going to the farthest side of the moon, right? So
Opo.
in that farthest side of the moon, the while it is passing behind the far side of the moon, the lunar surface of the moon obstructed all radio and laser signals. So that's the reason why we lost communication. It's, then, of course, it was planned. So the astronauts, they have to operate autonomously and recorded whatever they see. Yeah, so that's the reason why we lost that communication.
Pero during that time, engineer, na nagawa pa rin po ninyong, suportahan yung mga astronaut natin who were, 250,000 miles away mula ho dito sa Earth, sa kabila po ng total blackout o hindi na po?
Well, the time we really totally lost our communication. We totally lost
Ah.
our communication. But we know that we will lose that communication because the that farther side of the moon black out all the communication. So we cannot really uh, um, pass any communication, any signals at all until such a period of time that we already passed that obstruction. That's when that communication came back, and it was a normal pass through uh, of that orbit. I mean, of that Orion to pass through that. That's really the plan of NASA to go to that farthest side, and we expected that we will lose that signal dahil nga sa blockade ng moon, right? So pero
Mm.
nung lumampas na siya doon sa area na yon, we that communication came back. So it's
Mm.
not an emergency because the crew continued and recorded their scientific observations. They did it autonomously, and then after we the communication came back, that's when they transmitted back those data.
Pero yung 40-minute duration na yun, engineer, was that expected or may posibilidad ho ba na posibleng mas mahaba pa sana yung inabot ho niya?
Ted yun, we know how gaano katagal na they will pass like a black hole black hole communication. So they know that when they are traversing that side of the moon, it will take 40 minutes for us to be able to penetrate our communication again.
Okey. Bomboever, with your follow-up kay, Engineer Domingo.
Just to follow up lamang po, Engineer, yun pong Artemis 2 mission ay gumamit po ng tinatawag na Orion Optical Communication System na gumamit po ng lasers for the first time po ito. Paano po ito nakatulong para magkaroon po tayo ng high definition imagery mula po sa buwan kung ikukumpara po natin sa mga ginamit noon pong Apollo lunar missions?
That's it's a very good question, right? So I know they use the Orion Optical Communication System. Yun ang ginamit nila dito ngayon. They are using lasers. Yung nickname ng laser na yun actually is laser winking, right? And which really changed the way we receive actually this imagery uh, because it will be a high definition. Unlike sa kanon sa Apollo era, it's a it's we they are using microwave, they are using a very low speed, right? So they call it laser winking, right? Uh, uh, dahil yung pulses of a laser. Kaya tinawag nilang it uses infrared pulses, that kaya tawag nila laser winking. So it's by pulse that they are they are transmitting that data, enabling a 4K high definition video from the moon. Unlike sa Apollo dati, it's probably it's about 10 frames per second dun sa Apollo era, but itong laser winking na ginagamit ngayon, they call it Orion Optical Communication, it's probably about 60 frames per second, so which is about 260 megabits per second, so mabilis. So it's really a big improvement.
Okay. Engineer, ito rin po ba yung rason kaya po nakapagpalabas po ang NASA ng HD pictures, unlike po noong Apollo na pixelated at pawang mga black and white pa po?
Tama ka. Magandang observation. Yeah, that's correct. Itong improvement na ito really help sa next phase ng Artemis, dahil itong mga pictures na nakuha nila, mga scientists natin, mga engineers, mga safety department ay pag-aaralan nila yon. By the way, I am no longer I don't I have a new role actually dito sa NASA. I do software assurance management. So but I still do they still consult with me if may mga malaking problema tungkol sa network. But I do software assurance management sa NASA ngayon.
Okay. Nice din po namin malaman, habang nasa outer space po ba sila, naka-experience din po sila ng yung mga astronaut po ng ilang problema, engineer?
Kahit dito sa lupa, di ba? Kahit napaka-high-tech na tayo, may mga glitches pa rin tayong mga na-experience sa mga computer natin or mga technology, right? It's not always perfect. Ang technology is not always perfect. So it's really funny. A lot of people observe that, right? And probably it could be some probably worried about it, right? So yes, the ground station team was able to remotely. So what happened is that nagkaroon siya, yung astronaut, nagkaroon sila ng Microsoft Outlook error because doon sila nagko-communicate, di ba? Sa ground station. So we have a ground station in Houston, and but they were able to remotely support the astronaut despite being over 200,000 miles away from the Earth. So yung NASA engineers sa Houston, nakapag-remote connect siya dito sa computer ng astronaut and able to re-download yung application and help them troubleshoot. So yung malfunction ng toilet actually, it's very important actually. Ang toilet ay very important sa tagal ba naman na about 10 days, right? Na nandun sila. So kailangan talaga may toilet din. Yung fan ng toilet nag-jam. So what they did is that they talked to the astronauts and helped them troubleshoot things, right? Until yung fan was working again.
Okay, Bombo Jet.
Okay. Again, thank you so much for joining us, Engineer. Hanggang sa mga susunod na kayo po aming makausap. Maraming salamat. Ingat po kayo. Naimbag na bigat kada kayo, Engineer.
Pag nga bigat kada kayo amin ita, kinaimbag nga Yeah, at naimbag nga rabimot ito eh. It's been a while na ilang beses akong makakita ng mga Ilocano dito. So, okay, God bless them.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, Engineer. Ang isa po sa mga engineer po ng NASA, mga kaumo, sa ilalim po ng Goddard Space Flight Center, nagsisilbing lead network engineer at data communications engineer, si Engineer Shar Agustos Estranero Domingo.
For the most trusted source of news and information, visit our website at www.bomboradio.com. Follow us on Bombo Radio mobile app, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and X, formerly Twitter. Like, share, and stay connected. Anytime, anywhere.